Hey y'all, it's Tirza. This is going to have very poor lighting. I really can't do anything to avoid that at this moment. Just wanted to get a quick video out there because it's been a really long time. And maybe somebody wants to know what's been going on. So, I think the last video I made, I weighed about 194, 195. Currently, I'm about 207. So I'm up about 12 pounds. I've been having a hard go, guys, and that's why you haven't seen me. For over 2 months, I've been having chronic headaches where they ebb and flow. They never, ever, ever go away, but the headache might be down to a 3, and then it could be a 10. I get vision loss. I just been having a lot of problems, and towards the middle to end of October, things were starting to get really bad for me. I was having a lot of jaw pain. I even went to the dentist. They said I was grinding my teeth. I go next week to get, what do you call it? I don't even know. Mouth guard. And I thought, okay, well, this is going to be the answer. If I'm grinding my teeth, maybe that's why I have headaches, yada, yada, yada. Okay. So on Halloween, I went to the bank, and while I was there, my head started to pound, I started to sweat, and I almost passed out. So I had to sit there for a while, and then I got up and went home. When I got home, I was shaking all over. It was like I came out of the shower. My hair was drenched. Look, my hair that mostly grew back, yay. Although now the way I've been eating is probably gonna fall out again. Anyway, going off on a tangent. When I got home, I was shaking all over. My hair was drenched like I took a shower, and I had to change my clothes because they were just soaking wet. I knew I couldn't do anything. It was Halloween. I had to take my 2 little ones out. And on Saturday morning, I had to take my mom at 6 a.m. to the airport, or by 6 a.m. to the airport. So my husband had me lay down for a little while. We were thinking about having the older kids take out the younger kids. And my blood pressure was really high, like 140 over 96 or something like that. Okay. So I tried to calm down. I tried everything. I still just wasn't feeling right. My head was just in excruciating pain, but I did the best I could, and I was able to take my kids out for a little while, and then I came home. My symptoms were only getting worse, and I just didn't know what to do. So after I dropped my mom off on Saturday, I found out my husband was working Saturday, so I couldn't go anywhere. And then when he got home, I went to the emergency room at Jefferson Hospital. So they said, with my past history with the brain tumor and all that, they couldn't do an MRI there. They could only do a CAT scan, and a CAT scan wouldn't necessarily show anything. So all they could do was treat the headache, and I had eye pain. I was losing vision in the left eye, and I had a lot of pain. So he felt the back of my neck, and he saw that the occipital nerve and the tendon back there were very swollen. And I had gone to PT for occipital neuralgia in the past, and it had gone away, and then it was back. And he gave me this needle called an occipital nerve blocker. And it took the eye pain away, but everything else still hurt. So I figured it was working, maybe it was going to take time. So they sent me on my merry way after sitting there for 6.5 hours with no labs, nothing. It was like the weirdest hospital visit I ever had. And the next day, I was like 5 times worse. Just everything hurt so bad. So then I thought, well, maybe it's just pain caused by the injection site. So I was heating and cooling my neck. I was putting a heating pad for a while, and then I'd put ice. And it seemed like it helped a little, but not a whole lot. So I'm like shaking all over. So that Monday morning, like early, I emailed my doctor. So I had went to Jeff ER, I think Saturday, yes. Sunday, I just waited it out. Monday, I sent a message to my doctor, and she asked, since I had eye pain, did they even consider glaucoma or anything like that? I told her no. She told me to see an ophthalmologist, and if I couldn't get an appointment within 10 days, to go to Wills Eye Hospital. So I don't have an ophthalmologist. Nobody would probably take me in 2 days. So I went to the hospital, and thank God I did that. When they did the exam, they were just saying, oh, you probably have migraines, poo-pooing me around. But when they finally dilated my eyes and went in and looked in the back, because like the cursory exam, my vision, even though my vision was so blurry and I could hardly see, I was guessing the letters. They still had me at 20/20 vision, even though I could barely read anything. Like, I don't know how I passed that exam. I'm sorry. I know this is so dark. When they looked into the back of my eyes, they saw that there was pressure and that I had what's called intracranial. Oh God, I can't even think. This is terrible. I don't want to pull out my papers. Intracranial hypertension, which they weren't sure if it was caused by a pseudotumor, an actual tumor, or something else going on. Sorry, my dog's making a lot of noise right now. With my history, with a mass in my right frontal lobe, they took me to MRI. This is the first time I was in an MRI where I pressed the ball. I was having leg convulsions that I could not control. My body was just shaking. And somehow, I don't know how, I made it through and they were able to get all the imaging. They just did a cursory glance and they told me, no new tumors. Thank God. No aneurysm. Okay, good. Which led them to believe I had idiopathic intracranial hypertension, which there's no reason why you get it, and there's no cure. It can make you go blind. You could have stroke, seizures. So they sent me home. And meanwhile, I've been being pumped with pain medication for days now, at the hospital and at home. Nothing's working. I'm talking totally normal right now, but I'm in a whole lot of pain. Plus, I'm just scared. So they told me I had to follow up because there was nothing they could do. I had to follow up with a neuro-ophthalmologist. I've been calling them for days. They keep on saying that my chart is on their table. They haven't made me an appointment yet. So I went back to Pennsylvania Hospital because my blood pressure was through the roof. And they tell me we don't consider it an emergency unless your blood pressure is like over 180 on the top number. And I came in at 160 over 101 with a heart rate of 99. So they gave me some magnesium because they said my magnesium was low, which blew my mind because I've been taking almost 750 milligrams a day. And at the Wills Eye, before they gave me the CAT scan, they gave me 2 whole grams on top of the 500 I had already had that day. So it blew my mind that I'd be low mag. Only slightly, they said. And they sent me on my way. When I got home, I was convulsing like I was having a seizure. It was so bad. And I tried everything. I tried breathing techniques because I said, maybe I'm having a panic attack because of what's going on. I looked up music for calming. Nothing worked. And it seems like when I lay down, I actually feel way worse. This is why I'm in a chair. This is like my permanent fixture right now. I feel better sitting up than I do laying down. Although even reclining, it's still bad. And if I stand too long, it's bad. It's a mess. So anyway. Sorry, this is a long video. So I went to back to the ER, but I didn't have any more money for Lyft. I wasn't going to walk all the way into town, so I went to Methodist, which is also part of Jeff, which is not that far from me. It's like 5 blocks away, 6 blocks away. So somehow I made it there. I felt like I was going to pass out a million times. I was having so much vision changes. And when I got there, I was pleasantly surprised because I never go there because you always hear like train wreck stories about it. But they actually like treated me pretty good. They got me with the IV right away, tried to give me pain medication. Not that that stuff helps too much. Although they totally ignore you. Like you could be dead in that room and they would never know because they leave you there for hours by yourself. Every hospital. And they gave me a CAT scan. And the CAT scan showed some narrowing of blood vessels in my brain, which can lead to stroke. But they weren't going to admit me because it was not at that time an emergency. For them, they just diagnose emergencies in the hospital. So if I actually had like a broken blood vessel, or I forget what they called it or whatever, that would be different. But that's not what I had. So they sent me home and told me to follow up again with the neuro-ophthalmologist. I don't know why I can never say that. So I couldn't get in touch with them. I once again got in touch with my doctor, who sent me to get some more blood work because she can't understand why my blood pressure is all over the place. Because I was the same weight like 4 weeks ago when I went to see her, and my blood pressure was normal. The only other time this happened was after my son Abraham, where I would have normal and then high, normal then high. And I'm wondering if this is all caused by this intracranial hypertension. And maybe that's what I had after my son. And by the grace of God that I'm alive, because maybe that mag treatment wasn't the answer, but it helped. That 24-hour magnesium thing that they give for preeclampsia. And that would explain why I had no proteins in the urine, because maybe I wasn't having preeclampsia. Maybe I was having IIH, the idiopathic intracranial hypertension, due to all the fluid that I was retaining, so much fluid. I lost 40-something pounds in 24 hours on being on that mag treatment. So that was all fluid that was on my body. So anyway, my friend said, listen, it's hard to get, this appointment with these people because there's not that many of them. Try calling this other office for this guy. Well, that guy, he mostly deals with adolescents. And so I got an appointment, thank God, today at 3 p.m. with a different, not attached to Jeff or Will's, but University of Pennsylvania. I got an appointment with a doctor right away. I called yesterday. I have an appointment today at 3 p.m. So fingers crossed, prayers up, please, because I'm a nervous wreck. I've been getting anxiety like crazy. And as a matter of fact, 4 weeks ago when I went to my doctor, I was so worried about all the stuff in my neck. I wasn't even telling her about my headaches, although I did write in the, the annual physical papers that I was experiencing headaches. I forgot where I was at because I'm just a mess right now. I don't even remember. Oh my God. But that's another thing that happened to me. My brain, I can't think. I'm confused. I can't sleep. So wherever I was at, I'm sorry because I don't even remember anymore. My brain's swollen, so please forgive me. But anyway, she sent me for other blood work just to find out why is my blood pressure so high, and that it goes up and down. They put me on a small beta blocker to try to lower my heart rate because they actually looked nervous because they could feel my heart pounding in my chest. Like they even were like, oh my gosh, like take care of yourself. And so when I came out of the hospital, I did the extra blood work and she had me come in for this 24-hour Holter monitor. I think I'm done with that tonight sometime, but I'll have to return it on Monday. So I go see this doctor, although I don't know because he's from a different hospital if he'll have access to my MRI or my CAT scan. So that's where we're at. There's no cure for this disease. Some people can make it go in remission. Sometimes you have to have, not surgery, but, you could have shunts put in your brain. But usually they do lumbar draining or something it's called. Sort of like a spinal tap to release some of the fluid. They could put you on water pills, all kinds of stuff. And they basically tell you losing weight is very helpful. I didn't gain that much weight this time, guys. I go back up to the 300s too, whatever. And I've actually been back on a low-carb, keto-ish lifestyle for 2 weeks now. But I haven't really lost that much weight, which is interesting. Usually I drop a lot. And that was another thing. My anion gap or something was high, and it made me nervous because that can be a sign of like ketoacidosis, which I don't have diabetes. So I was scared I was having non-ketoacidosis. So when I talked to my brother, he was like, listen, just for a week, stop with caffeine. Don't take any of your vitamins except for the multi, which I'm not even doing that right now because I've been in hospitals and stuff, so I haven't been taking my pills. And he said, go on a healthy, low-carb diet. You don't have to be... Keto is wonderful, but it's not for everyone. He said, maybe just do more whole foods, low-carb. So I kind of am still keto, but I have been incorporating having like mango or plums or something, like a fruit that has a little bit of sugar in it. We'll see what happens. But so far, your girl's still a hot mess. So for those who pray, prayers are appreciated. I know I look and sound like absolutely normal. I'm so good at I've always been good at that. I don't know why. I've always been good at that. The only people who know what's really going on and how I feel are my poor family. Just I'm more mean to them than to strangers. That's terrible. So that's that. Wish me luck. Maybe I'll be back next week. Hopefully. Till next time, guys.